then discard the video and then start it over.
All right, and
God,
we are live again. Back
yeah.
through the adversity of technical difficulties, we are back with another installment of the Authority Hour, where our mission is to turn your digital footprint into your greatest asset. With my man Ronnie Haskins,
Yeah, what's up?
and I'm Jesse Bullock with Bullseye Consulting. So Ronnie, man, how has your week gotten off to so far?
I think it's been great, man. Like learning and doing stuff and trying to make things happen. It's just one day at a time, you know?
Yeah, ditto, ditto. So I'm actually pushing my client to establish his digital identity where he's been working in his business for 30 years and recently purchased it. So putting in all of the structures for it to actually grow. One of those things being like an online presence, which has never been a priority before. So, like we're talking about putting together content to put on TikTok and Instagram. Well, he don't have an Instagram yet. He just got his Facebook login information, and he gonna be starting his Instagram. And like it's so dope to what I mean, like guide that process
Yeah.
because he hasn't hunted for business ever, and now starting that process of out there on the road because it's that type of business that you have to, what I mean, you got to really build relationships.
Okay.
So
So is he embracing it?
absolutely, bro, absolutely. Because prior to this, he was pretty much he still is like the go-to for everything. Well, through building his team, it gives him the ability to focus on an area that he's never focused on before, because his team, I get to work with them directly. So, I'm gonna make sure that they are taken care of as far as doing the things that they need to do in the business so that he can be out on the road building relationships. But I told him, like, when he's having conversations with folks, to be intentional about, because like Ronnie, every week when you stand up and give your 45-second commercial, we done talked about it before. It's like butter, but it's years and
Yeah.
years and years of the repetition. So like I'm telling him how valuable it is to have the intention to understand how he describes what he does in a way that cuts through the noise and gets straight to his intended, you know, business person.
Yeah. I think you just got to be willing to be the village. You got to be willing to be a novice and embrace it.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
don't think I don't think you can get better or I'm happy to hear that this person is excited about the journey. That's it. It's like you just got to fall in love with putting the information out there that you want people to hear and tell your story.
Right, right.
Let the chips fall where they lie.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking of like refining messaging, because you've been present on social media for a long time, how long would you say into your journey that it took you to like get your messaging down so that when you talking with folks, you can like really slice through the noise and like clearly articulate your value proposition? How long would you say it took you to get there?
I, I'd like to tell you that I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not satisfied with where I'm at with it. So maybe a better question is, when did I feel like I was like, I started making content in 18 or 19. So it's been what, 7 years. And today I decided to change something. I was getting ready to do something today and I was like, it's too many words. Too many words. You know, you ever heard somebody say, why use one sentence when you can use 55 sentences to describe something?
Right.
And I found myself going, this is nuts. I need to dumb that down even more and just make it quicker. So I think it's a work in progress. And I think it's just finding out what works. Last week I had a big success. I put out a video. And the success was I wasn't afraid to make the video. It's a very polarizing video. I was like, this is what I feel. EV vehicles are all hype. That's, you know, prove me wrong. Come on, bring it. And it got a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, a lot of freaking questions, a lot of talking. To me, that's a win. So I don't know if I'm answering your question succinctly, but like I could tell like after about a year, I started getting better, more comfortable at just putting out content. But I don't know if my messaging is where I want it to be.
Yeah, I know mine is definitely a work in progress for sure. Like I was sharing with you before, the ums and the fillers, all of the noise, and embracing the pause and the value of it. Like that's difficult to really be disciplined to. It's because when I think about Will Smith, for example, every time that Will Smith speaks, like you get, see, and that's one of my filler words, like. I say like a lot. Well, one of the things that Will Smith does a lot is this. He gives you 3 or 4 words, and then it's a pause, and then it's like 4 more words, and then it's like so
and
like
you're hanging on every word.
Yep.
You know why?
Talk to me.
I follow this guy on Instagram. His name is Vin. It's like I think it's VINH or something like that. This guy is magnificent. And he says, when you pause, you give the person you're talking to the opportunity to process what you just said. And I was like, oh, that's fascinating. So what Will is doing is he's doing that. He's like, so let me tell you the story about the Fresh Prince. All right. I watched him too. And he'll say, all right. And what he's saying is, go ahead and process that. Here it comes. Here comes the story. And we're just like, what's next? You know, like, yeah, man, that's great. So I love that. So you could even like put that on this episode, right? The power of the pause.
Absolutely. But it's being disciplined to do that. And
it's a skill.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, because it's like thinking about how short people's attention spans are. Is want to keep the energy moving, and that's where it creates those stumbling blocks and filler words and just a bad flow overall that impacts the listening experience.
Yes. You could add to it too with the pause, right? With this, I was listening to Chris Voss today. He's an ex-hostage negotiator, right? You know who he is, right?
Yep.
And he's like, first thing you do first thing you do in a negotiation, you have to remove yourself as a threat. And he said, Smile. Now they can fight you. They can fight back. He said, but you do it 2 or 3 times. What they can't stop is the reaction that their brain is having to your smile. I was like, oh, that's like some sorcery, dude. He was like, so I don't want to talk to you. I don't negotiate, but you smile at me 3 times. And I can't stop my brain from doing what it's doing, which is removing you as a threat. Fascinating. Did you get that?
Yeah. Not like it really is a disarming thing. It definitely is. I think that throughout the course of my career, like earlier when I didn't have the experience, I always could rely on my charisma and my smile to take me where my experience wasn't there yet.
Yes.
Like it's both of those things in conjunction with one another. You know, like the smile disarms, and then the charisma is like, come on, bring it in. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be around this guy. So
it's fascinating, dude. It works when people can't even see it. I had a training session with 3 of my salespeople, and I took a live call. And I said, you guys ready? I'm going to answer this phone. And before I did like this. I said, y'all ready? Hi, it's Ronnie Haskins. And dude, like, I actually paused and smiled. And then I said hello. And this is what is so mind-blowing. About halfway through that conversation, the lady said, I can see your smile through the phone. I'd like to set an appointment with you. And everybody around me was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, dude, it totally works. I struggle with it because most of the time I'm like this, especially when I'm serious and I want to make a serious point. I fight against it because my mouth goes like they say it takes less muscles to go this way than this way. Then why am I always looking like this? It's like, damn. You know?
right.
It takes fewer muscles. But why does it feel so hard? You know? Yeah. Good. This is good stuff, dude. Like, so yeah, I mean, that's the answer to my question. I'm not there. I'm working on the pause. I'm glad that you've discovered that because now me and you, we can work on it too together.
For sure. For sure. And I mean, that really goes back to the foundation of this whole partnership. Like,
yeah, iron sharpens iron.
There you go. There you go. As opposed to making it another text thread, because the thing about text threads, like when you're on a group chat, it's cool until you got to play catch up with all of the messages. It's in part why I never really engaged in the WhatsApp, because it was difficult to keep up with. Like it'd be so many messages coming in. Like I don't want to deal with that. So instead of us starting a group thread between the two of us, turned it into a whole podcast to be able to talk through the things that otherwise would have been on a thread, and we can hold each other accountable. Like I want for you to be there. You just said like 18 times, bro. Why didn't you just?
Yeah, I mean, you could, while you're doing that, my crutch. So you got a crutch. That's what they call it. Mine used to be, I'll be talking. I'm like explaining something. And I'll say whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may, like you understand what I'm saying. Whatever the case may be. It's like, and so I looked it up. I was like, what is it that I'm doing? And what I found is it said it was a crutch in my speaking. So maybe what you're experiencing now, once again, it's 7 years of me making content. And it's nice to see you picking up on the stuff for yourself. It's fascinating. But so here's the thing. You want to be better. I want to be better. And we agree that the only way to get better is to self-improve. There's no quick way. There's no speedy way to get rich. But, one day at a time.
100%. And it's powerful. So where things kind of are with the economy and whatnot, to truly be providing value to the ecosystem, everybody has the opportunity to provide some value to the ecosystem based on the things that they are impassioned about. Because, like we talked about before, it's 8 billion people in the world. So, by getting started and talking about what impassions you, you know, as things happen around the world, it causes people to refocus and all that stuff like that. You build your own audience, and it can end up happening overnight just through a series of, it hit this algorithm and bounced off of it into this algorithm, and before you know it, you got all of these people that's paying attention to the thing that you love and have committed yourself to sharing with the world. Like, is that possible? You know what I mean?
It is possible, but I've watched it happen in my own office. I had one of my consultants went viral, made one video. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of views. And I want to keep this positive. That was the last time that happened. So yeah, so you said like you could do this, you have the opportunity. We all have the opportunity to go viral, but the consistent slow turtle wins the race. I'll give you a real life example. My wife did the incline this week. They've gone 3 times. She did it in 55 minutes this week, bottom to top.
Nice.
And I was asking her about it, like, how did you like it? And she's like, well, there's this older lady, and she said she was older because the lady had 2 walking sticks and she was kind of hunched over. She was old enough to have this hunch in her back. And my wife had passed her. But by the time but you're pausing and you're breathing and catching your breath. Dude, by the time she got to the top, that lady had passed her and reached the summit and was headed back down. Much older than her. The turtle. She's consistently been doing it probably for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And is that true? Is that what you would say? She does it 2 times a week is what she just said. Mm-hmm. That lady does it 2 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Tori has done it 3 times total in what, 3 years? A year and a half. So like all I'm saying is, yeah, if you get out there and you get a big burst, this too shall pass. Get back to work. The money's in the consistent long-term thing. And that wasn't a competition. She wasn't competing with the lady. It was an observation. It was an observation. And that lady that does it 2 times a week is going to beat you every time. Like, even though she's moving at a far slower pace.
Yep. Because she keep on going. Can you imagine going twice a week? That's a lot of times that she's gone up and down that mountain. Can you imagine how many people that she's passed? You know what I mean? Like the same thing.
She knows every step to step on. Every step to step on. She's don't go there. You're going to break your ankle. Move over here with me. She knows.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what building brand authority is. It's just
that's what this is. Yeah,
absolutely.
The slow turtle wins the race, man. Like, I love the viral aspect. I'm talking to anybody listening right now, if you make some content and it goes viral, this too shall pass. Unless you get super lucky and it monetizes into $10 million, you got to get back to work tomorrow.
Or you remain consistent. And this is when I think about what my content is currently doing, which isn't much right now. It's just building the consistent. So, because all it takes, again, is just one piece of content to go crazy. And then now when these people come in, depending on what they are met with when they come in, is going to determine, what that opportunity looks like, because people's attention spans are very short. So it's like when you get that one spark, the one video that catches the attention, and they come to look to see what else is there, and it's like, well, it's just an
Crickets.
empty bare cupboard. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing here. We got into this club that got all of the lights going on outside, and
It's all
I
hype.
got the blow up and all that, and you get inside of it, and the lights on, nobody in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the equivalent is of like just having that one spark in the pan, as opposed to having the consistency of putting out content consistently. So when they get in your rabbit hole, they can get comfortable and snug.
Yeah. Yeah, they like being there. I mean, I follow people like that I'm working on John Maxwell book right now, and I'm consuming the content. I like it. It's got sustenance. It's life-changing, you know. So those are the things you have to work on. I think it's more the quality. I think you got to have some quantity, you know, but you know, the goal is to get better than you were last week. That's all.
100%.
So I hope the guy you're coaching takes heed to some of that stuff and just start now, like plant a tree right now and keep moving.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna give him a chance. Like or a choice rather. I'm on him because I mean the project is expensive. Like there's no way around it. So
he's paying your company.
He's paying the company that I'm
company you work for, you contracted with. He's paying them.
Yep. So like for what it is that he's paying every week and what it's going to be in its sum total, you know, we got to get out there and generate some new business. So to do that, you know, it's what I break it down to him is it's like, so when it comes to lead generation, do you want to fish? Excuse me. Do you want to farm? Do you want to fish? Or do you want to hunt? And what that speaks to is when you're farming, you know, you got to get the right fertilizer. You got to get the right seed. You got to study the weather patterns. You got to know when the right time of the season is to harvest. It's all of these factors that goes into like the harvesting, the farming side of things, getting stuff together that way. But once you farm it and like you got that mixture together, it just harvests food over and over. Like it just continues to grow while in the season. And that's the same deal with like generating leads. You can lay the framework so that you have like the all the fertilizer and the seed and all of that. And once you've like done all of your 1-2, it's just going to continue to flourish for you. Whereas when it comes to fishing, it's like basically dropping a line in the water and hoping that your bait is effective. So you just kind of sitting there and waiting for somebody to bite. So for a fish, you know, for someone to bite. Whereas hunting, you actually out there and aggressively going after generating leads. So I look at the content game as like the farming side of it. It's establishing all of, you know, because you got the fertile, it's all of the things. But once it starts to actually harvest,
they call it evergreen content.
Tell me more.
Evergreen content is content you can make once and it stays green for 30 years. Like I have a video right now that I put out in 19, and I think it still gets 2,800 views a month or something like that. It's evergreen. It's on a topic. It's basically the benefits of leasing. That's what the name of it is. So unless leasing stops, it's never going to be out of season. So you put that content out once, like here's the 5 benefits of leasing. And I don't need to. I mean, of course, I need to make other videos and do stuff like that about leasing. But that video has the ability to continue to farm for 30 or 40 years. Like it's out there. You can put that stuff out there. The one pushback I would give you on what you said, and I don't want to, we're not competing or anything like that. The one thing I want to give you to that I would like you to think about, or the question is, if you are farming and you're harvesting and you continue to do what the farming, you lay all the right seeds and stuff like you said, but you're just not getting the same, you're not reaping the same harvest. What do you do? And it's kind of a rhetorical question, because what I'm saying is this too shall pass. Like, so the strength and the fortitude you have to be a content producer is, yeah, what I'm doing is working right now. It might not be working next month. You know, how far have you seen attention spans go? Like, if you were really good at making 15-minute videos, dominating it about 5 years ago, you had all the attention. We all on TikTok now. Hey, say what you got to say. You got 3 seconds. And so now you see people get good at TikTok and good at AI and good at this. And so that it's all like these things. You can carve out your own niche in that. But I think we have to remain open-minded to shift and do what we need to do to pivot. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Yeah, farm. But definitely understand that you're farming in different seasons. Like, we don't know what's going to hit next month. Or, you know, what happens is they open up a new platform. You've been making TikTok videos and everybody's going over here. It's like, okay, what are you going to do about it? Complain about TikTok?
See, and yeah, and I look at the farming element of it as the foundation, because when you fish and hunt, like when the fish come and bite on your hook, now they are gonna be influenced by the harvest as well.
Yeah,
and
it all goes together.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's, you know, you can't have one without the other.
Oh, like we say all the time, the word is and. It's like, yeah, man, like, get the stuff done. Like, you know, people will ask, like, should I make content like a video or should I make a blog? And the answer is yes and yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call that the triangle offense right there. It's go after all 3.
It took people forever to agree to pay the yellow pages, bro. And that's where they were. We're in the yellow pages. You know? And then you fast forward to today, and it's taken longer for people to adapt. Because you know why? They want it to work. So I got a question for you. So how do you go about conversations with people? How do you instill, like, you're actually coaching businesses. So how do you instill the buy-in from this guy that's paying for you to coach him? Basically, you're leading him. So how do you get him to buy in to building a brand authority online?
So first, by removing the emotional element of it and through the data. So when I can show that sales performance has been flat for years, the natural question becomes, are we good with remaining flat? Because we can look historically, and the definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect different results. What you've been doing yields the same exact results. Y'all have like slightly variated within a few percentage points when it comes to revenue performance. So if we want to continue that trend, then keep doing what you've been doing. Like that's foundation. Again, removing the emotions. So now once the emotions are taken out of it, because we don't want to remain flat, then the natural question becomes, well, what do I do? Because I don't I've never done this before. What do I do? Well, I'm glad you asked, right? And
Yeah.
it's one of the things this firm working with them, seeing there's a fundamental difference between someone needing help and them wanting help. Like they can recognize that they need the help, but if they are not open to actually doing the thing, like they got to actually want it, and to want to grow, and for all of these years just not know how to do it, because to be out on the road building an authority, an in-person authority that translates to online, you got to be able to leave the office. And for him to leave the office, the business starts to implode on itself because he's so foundational to everything, has been to everything. So being able to take that piece away and zero focus on either we going to grow or we going to remain flat. And if we remain flat, we already see what the impacts of that are. So it's removing the emotions and then getting to it.
Okay. I mean, does it stick? Like, I feel like sometimes like people just don't want to believe that they need to have authority in their space. So even if you're giving them the data, people are, well, how do I know this is going to work? Like, how would you answer that question, Jessica? How do you know this is going to work? If I stop doing everything we've been doing for 20 years and I start making contact, how do I know this is going to work?
Right. So I would walk them down a line of notable figures who have significant followings and are able to leverage those followings. And if we rewind back to the humble beginnings of said individual, regardless of if it's Gary Vee, if it's Taylor Swift, if it's anybody that has significant influence, they didn't start with that influence. It was the hard work. So the piece that my client wouldn't, if my client were posing that question to me, the thing that my client isn't familiar with is all of the work that it took to become that household name. So if we want to see the spoils, we got to do our work to build. Like Rome was not built overnight. So like, again, like we always talking about with questions, I pound those questions in, that when they start to like actually reflect on the answers that they aren't even verbalizing yet, just as they're thinking about the answer, and they start to reflect, and it's like, well, the same thing does achieve the same thing. And it's like, well, and then getting back to the real why, because if the why is only financial, that's not deep enough. So by understanding and establishing that why from the beginning, so it's like when you increase your revenue by 67%, what does that do to your life? What do you then do that you have not been able to do before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you want to buy a boat because you love the water, and you started your business because you wanted to be able to spend more time on the water. But from the time that you started it to now, you got this beautiful boat that you bought years ago, and you never get to put it on the water because you always jobbing it and you don't know how to break out of it. So now we gonna get you out of that but we got to know that why. So my client now, and any client that I have, that why piece as well, that's bigger than money. Like you can't put your kids through school through the same behaviors that you've been demonstrating. You can't retire your mom with the same behaviors that you've been demonstrating. So if we want to continue remix versions of the same shit, then it was nice meeting you. like I got a flight to catch.
I guess that's the big difference, though, right? Because they're paying you to be there. So
Yep.
getting them to absorb that advice is a little bit probably easier. Like maybe that was a
You there,
simple
Ronnie?
answer. Like they got
You
skin in the
frozen?
game. Huh? Yeah, I'm here. I'm frozen on your side. It's clean on my side. Can you see me? Hello? Technical
No,
issues?
it's not. No, it's not though. Yeah, it's not though. Like what ends up happening. No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's a delay. It's a
Okay.
bad delay. Yeah, I see you. It's a bad
Okay.
delay.
We keep fighting technical issues every week.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. It didn't skip a beat for me.
Yeah, it's delayed. It's delayed. But yeah, no, it it all absolutely. Okay.
I'm not even saying nothing. You still hearing me
Yeah.
talk.
So the why piece is so important, and I think that's a key component just generally when we're thinking about establishing actual brand authority, being in tune with the why behind. Right.
I'm not saying nothing, dude. Like,
Oh
what's up?
man, it's probably my internet.
Where you at?
This
You out of town?
hotel internet be sketchy
Uh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Oh
delayed. It's
man.
like you're not even getting my answers.
All right. Guess the internet ain't gonna let us be great.
All right.
Yeah.
It's got to be the hotel. You would think it's the hotel internet, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's all right.
All right,
Well,
bro. You want to cut this one short then, since we great conversation, but now the
yeah,
internet don't want to play nice.
I like to put together an agenda
Yeah. Yep.
for the next
I'm
one.
pretty
Like,
sure
all
it
right,
is.
okay. All right. Peace.